hitting the charts, 10,000 subs, it's just the start. From moonlit prayers to neon night bars, Glenn dives deep where the wild things are.
Have you ever even used one of these sex toys?
No.
They are getting better and better and better.
Like they have like a special like cleaning solution for it.
You wash it with normal soap, then it can deteriorate.
Yeah. So, you don't want to like it to malfunction or short out on you and like you nut in her and like all of a sudden she starts screaming out, me too, me too, me too.
Right now, I was really wondering where's the closest Starbucks because I could use some coffee. And then titties. Starbucks and titties. Like, they should have a Starbucks titty shop. Like, just like the mermaid was topless originally, that's how these fucked up. Who owns Starbucks?
You know what chore play makes sex turned into? See, sex is supposed to be something you desire to do. Sex is supposed to be something that you want to just bang the fuck out of your wife, and your wife just wants to bang the fuck out of you. It's a desire. When you do chore play, you are taking something that's supposed to be a desire, and you turn it into a transaction, okay? Now, let me ask you this. Like, if you had to have pay for sex, would you pay your wife for it? Or would you go get the supermodel? I'm just saying, if you're going to go get a prostitute, you might as well make sure she's fine as hell.
Why should a guy get with a girl that has been ran through high miles? That pussy has a lot of miles on that pussy. Guys don't treat porn stars any better. You're in the service industry. You're just serving up puss. They'll smash it. They'll go. They don't care about you as a person. You're just a cum dumpster.
Like, that's fucked up.
Where do you get that from? What are you trying to imply here, Huds?
Hey, I'm just saying, if you fly across the country to hang out with another girl and you film videos like that,
What?
There might be a little bit more to it.
There is nothing to it.
Zerka, what's up, man?
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man, I had to talk to you. You had words with my wife last night.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with that, bro?
I mean, she started it.
She started it.
Yeah, she started. Ask her, bro. Rewind the podcast. She started attacking me because I guess she didn't like that I do a lot of blow with the Bible. But you do blow.
No, I do not. What's a bigger beef than that?
The beef between us.
Beef between us.
We got to do a freestyle battle right now.
You want to battle me?
Yes, sir.
And you expect me Fatal to judge?
I would love for him to judge.
You gotta be serious. You're trying to step to me. Dude, I put you 6 feet deep. No relief. I won't stop until my goal is reached. True RP. I just to do it from the SIC. I got a clean soul, bitch, and just let me be.
Glenn, who's supposed to be my guest today, still hasn't shown up. I might actually have to call him like while we're live here on air. Like, bro, what's going on, man? These time changes, though, they mess with people. Like, it's so hard scheduling things. I'm scheduling some upcoming interviews, and one of the guys I want to interview is this guy. He goes by Mish Chad of Arabia, and he actually lives in the Middle East. And so I'm trying to like figure out the time difference and stuff. It's like a 9-hour time difference. So I'm like, okay, well, is that what, if I do it at this time, is it still the same day? It's crazy. Same thing happens when I'm working with like Jack Napier, because Jack is in the Netherlands. So trying to get that stuff scheduled sometimes difficult, but Glenn's only an hour difference. So I don't know what his excuse is this morning. All right, let's give him a call. Let's see if he's available. Because this was his idea, by the way. If you guys don't know Glenn, he's a co-host on the Dragon Ship podcast. It's pretty good. It's RP Thor's show.
Dude, sorry I'm late. I was on the highway and the fucking baby was running on the highway. Anyway, long story short, that's why I'm 5 minutes late for work, because it took a long ass time for me to get the fucking Deborah in the car.
Yes, that goddamn Deborah. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? How you living? You living good? Let's see who's all in the chat. We got to say hello to our friends. Right? We got to say hello to the peoples that are tolerating this ridiculous stream while we listen to a very toxic masculine song, at the same time. All right, let's see who's all here. We got the Viking Paradigm. What's going on, homie? Being Cheeks, I know his ass is asleep. Ghost is in the house. Cat's in the building. How you living, Cat? Locksmith Jeremy, locked and loaded. I see you, my friend. Michelle, of course, is here. Jess White is in the house, right? Chairman of the board. What's going to be deleted? This stream if you don't watch it. Let's see who else we got. We got Viking. Oh, we got the Vengeful Truther. ZT Den, how you living? How you doing? All right. Let's see. We got Tiggy Tag in the building. Good morning. Good morning. Wherever you're at, Tiggy Tag. So what am I going to be talking about today? I know. The thumbnail is kind of a little deceiving, somewhat. Lenny, are you going to talk about something important? Maybe. I want to talk about problem solving. See, there's a lot of problems in this manosphere space, right? Where men are supposed to be swapping notes. And I've realized that there's a different way in handling problem solving. So I'm going to give you guys a monologue, and then we're going to go into breaking this down. So let's talk about problem solving, not the theoretical kind. I'm talking about the real world, pressure cooked, no time to whine situations. The kind of moments that either reveal your character or expose your lack of it. The red pill guys, right? There's a huge difference between them and a man with the dominant masculine presence. See, the average red pill guys know female's nature. Great. He reads the essays. Wonderful. He memorizes the charts. He probably even got Rollo's book highlighted and dog-eared like a teenage girl with a Twilight novel. But when shit hits the fan, when life says, okay, smart guy, let's see what you're made of, he folds. He sits there analyzing the problem of the deaf, spouting out statistics on some damn manosphere podcast. Well, you see, 80% of women only sleep with 20% of guys, and shut the fuck up. Quoting data doesn't solve the problem. Now, a man with a dominant masculine presence, he doesn't need to talk about stats. Why? Because he's the statistic women talk about. He doesn't need to know women's nature. He knows the natural reality of things, of men, of himself. He's not sitting around wondering why women flake. He adjusts his life so they don't flake. And when one does, he doesn't spiral. He doesn't cry online. He recalibrates and keeps moving forward like a juggernaut. See, the red pill reacts to problems. The DMP responds. Big difference. Now, when the red pill guy is more like a commentator, he wants to sound like he knows the answers. The DMP man, he embodies the answers. He doesn't wait for permission. He doesn't need a movement. His presence alone is the movement. Where the red pill guy sits in victimhood, blaming female hypergamy, feminism, or the Chad with the nice jawline, the DMP man accepts reality without flinching and then bends it to his will. He doesn't waste time trying to fix her. He fixes himself, his body, his mind, his mission. When a problem shows up in his relationships, he doesn't resort to passive-aggressive games or frame tests. He leads, he clarifies, he corrects, If she won't follow, he lets her go because he's too damn focused on conquering his path to be derailed by emotional chaos. The red pill guy thinks he's red pill because he knows women can cheat. Well, let me break it to you. The DMP man knows that too, but he's not shook by it. He's not controlled by fear. He doesn't live in reaction of what might happen. He lives in pursuit of what will happen because he makes it happen. At the end of the day, it's simple. Red pill guys want to be right. But a man with a dominant masculine presence, he wants to be effective. And when you're effective, you don't complain, you solve, you lead, and you walk through fire like you were born in it. So choose who you want to be. The dude still complaining about the wall and hypergamy? Or the man that's so grounded in purpose, so unshakable in presence, that when a problem shows up, they get imitated. And he just conquers. So with that, I'm going to bring up the author extraordinaire, AJ, the leprechaun Viking detailer. Hey.
What is up?
What's going on, man?
Problem solving, eh?
Problem solving.
I might know a thing or two about that.
Do you? Did you write a little bit about it?
I wrote a little bit about it, but my entire life's been nothing but problem solving, man. It's our natural imperative as men. Like it's our number one agency right there. It's problem solving.
So let me tell you the distinction that I see the difference between a guy with the dominant masculine presence and the average red pill guy. Okay. A guy with DMP, he sees it as a challenge to conquer, not as a reason to complain. And he operates from a solution first mindset, not, an emotional, his emotions are controlled and he's missions intact. His internal locus of control is I create outcomes, and he doesn't respond, like overreacting. He responds very strategically. The problem I see with a lot of these red pill guys, right, is that they see the problem as a validation of their worldview. They go, see, hypergamy, right? And they operate from a blame first mentality. They blame women, they'll blame society, they'll blame feminism. And their external locus of control is, I'm just reacting to female nature. And then they often get trapped in analysis paralysis. They know a lot, but they do a little. What do you think about that? Do you think that I kind of just, fairly distinctly separated the two?
I think you did a good job there. Even like, I think it's like, I don't know if it was Paul Bauer that I heard from or Ryan Stone I heard from, but like all these guys bitch about hypergamy. Hypergamy is your fucking friend. Learn to use it. If there wasn't for for hypergamy, there would not be monogamy.
Or a hot body, or a naughty body, whatever. Got ugly. Yep.
Yeah.
What she said.
So like all those guys that are in the Christ bro sphere that are like, you guys are a bunch of degenerates. Hey, the stuff that we talk about is the reason why you guys can talk about monogamy.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that, when I'm showing this like distinction between the two, we could talk about the women and them being a problem. But it's their nature. Like a dog's going to bark. That's its dog's nature.
Yeah.
Women are going to be hypergamous. Doesn't mean they're always going to act on their hypergamy.
It's a gradient. It's a scale.
Yeah. So why are you mad about
for instance, like a chick that's been raised in the Mormon church in Utah is going to be, she's still hypergamous, but she's going to be less hypergamous than the chick that's been raised in Miami.
Yeah. And the girl that's like raised in Utah and the Mormon is going to be more down for anal.
and soaking.
There you go. Only reason why I know that is because AJ, never mind. When it comes to emotional regulation, right? The guy with DMP, he maintains composure under pressure. He solves from a place of clarity, calm, and confidence, and does not let emotional chaos override masculine direction. Now, I'm not going to toot my own horn here. I'm waiting for Viking to show up. Because he observed something that, you know, I take as like, you know, a compliment. I mean, I'm surprised that people noticed it. But he mentioned something when we were discussing other things with Thor. And I think that's what's encouraged Viking with things that are coming in the future. But I'll wait till he goes back here. But a red pill guy, you know, when their emotional regulation seems like they struggle with it because they get emotionally reactive and they mask it with like pseudo intellectualism.
Yeah.
You know, or like they get passive aggressive or go cold when they get triggered, right? And they use detachment or anger as a defense mechanism, not leadership. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah, I see it all the time. Somebody says something, you get some beefs going. Like, I'm not gonna drop any names, but like two of them, I wrote it in the very beginning of my first book. Two of the most prolific guys in the men's self-help space, just sitting there, like, because of their egos and their emotional investments, they're just freaking going after each other like two little kids.
Do I know these people?
Yes, you know them both.
It's not me, right?
No, it's not you.
Okay, good. Moving on. What up, Viking?
Greetings. Not much, just chilling.
So, I was talking about emotional regulation just a second ago, and I was looking for an example, but you keep on highlighting the example that just seems to stick out to me the most, of your observation of things behind the scenes, and when you're like, you know, when you realize like, oh, no, dude has. Go ahead and fluff me. No, I'm kidding.
Well, this is
like,
as I said, even before like some of the stuff happened, I just kind of went through this over at Fresh and Fit when they had to make some similar changes that we're going to be implementing in the future here. So I've already gotten like a partial blueprint, and I know a few things that, you know, were missed in the other process. But a huge problem was emotional regulation with certain individuals within the group, because we were dealing with a much larger group of people. You know, there's lots of moderators and stuff like that involved, and some people did not take the changes very well. It was very upsetting for them. So, and I found myself in the middle. That's why we did that episode on the Dragon Ship about, you know, how to remain neutral when friends are beefing and stuff like that, because you have to be able to be neutral as best as possible. And this is something that I've had happen to me a lot. I lose friends just by being honest. But it's like that's the price you pay for being honest. You know, that's the thing. It's like I try to be tactful, but you have to have that emotional regulation and separate yourself from that and be pragmatic and like, okay, what is the actual solution? Because once again, what we talk about, too many people fixate on the problems. Yes, there's a problem, you know, but then you get people like, okay, but what about all the symptoms too? And it's just like, no, we need to solve the problem. What is the cure for the problem? Well, that's a solution. What is a solution? Oh, there's a variety of solutions. You know, it's not a simple one size fits all thing. That's what takes analysis. But if you get stuck in analysis paralysis, then you're screwed either way anyway. So the key thing is, that's why I say the trade's got it best. Measure twice, cut once. You know, you gotta do your research, double check your work, and then take the action like Thor always says. And that's a basic problem solving mechanism that, you know, anybody can engage. But if a lot of people just, it was kind of funny because chairman of the board said, you know, I don't want to be a leader. You know, I just don't, it's too much work. And it's just like, I know he's joking, but there's guys that legitimately feel that way that I've talked to.
Yeah, no, like,
oh yeah, I mean, I'll even admit to that right there. Like at work, like I've had some people that are not directly my management, but in other departments that I work closely with, and we had some openings for supervisors. Like, do you ever want to be a supervisor? I'm like, look, I've been a supervisor before. My personality does not fit with a supervisor. I'm better off turning wrenches and teaching. Keep me a lead.
I don't want
Mm-mm.
See, that's
Look.
the thing. I don't ever try to tell people what to do, but I find myself always being a leader because I'm somebody that has that emotional control. So I end up whether or not, like, either people are going to freeze up and I'm going to have to do something, or they're going to start looking to me because I'm the calmest person in the room typically. And that's not always, but it's very consistent. And leadership can be exhausting when you're trying to micromanage and tell people what to do. That's why, that's one of the things that I've been trying to get better at over the years, is being a better leader in those situations. Because, when I was leading my siblings growing up, being the oldest of 5 kids, I wasn't always the best leader. I just kind of did what my dad did, which is just like, fucking do it and do it right. This is how you do it. Now do it right. It's just like, okay.
Like,
It's like,
I'm
it
the
doesn't work with
oldest.
kids as well.
I'm the oldest as well, and I just pick on my little siblings. Like, I remember
I
when
did
my
a little
sister
bit of
had.
that. I taught them all how to fight, though. That's the key thing. So
Yeah, I did that too. But like,
Yeah,
remember El
I got-
Nino? Remember El
God.
Nino? Remember how bad El Nino was? Yeah,
Like in the
I
90s?
trapped my. Oh yeah, I trapped my brother outside and told him he had to stick his butt in the puddle before he could come in the house.
You're a dick.
That was my kind of leadership. And then when my sister had her first boyfriend come over, I locked her up in the garage and made it so she can't get out. And then I told her boyfriend that she went on another date with somebody else.
but damn.
You're a dick.
Well, she wasn't going to be dating at that young over my dead body.
Yeah. Whereas I had like I had the middle child syndrome in between 2 sisters, so I got fucked.
Yeah. It's all in your book.
Yeah, if you guys want to learn
Yeah.
more about that and how it fucks somebody up, buy my book.
So here's another thing. When it comes to tactical execution, the guy with DMP, he diagnoses the root cause of the problem, not just the symptoms. He leads
Yeah.
through decisive action, not theory. He adapts quickly, adjusts the course, but never loses direction. He communicates with precision, sets boundaries, not ultimatums. Right? What I see with the guys in the RP space, they tend to obsessively dissect like surface level behaviors, right? They often over relies on like mental modes, like, oh, is this a shit test or this is a frame battle? They react with what he reads instead of what is required in the moment to solve the problem. And when it comes to communication, they communicate with defensiveness or over calculated dominance. And do you guys see that? Am I the only one that
Yeah.
sees that?
No, I know what you're talking about. The guys that are just kind of like repeating it, and they still haven't really embodied it yet. Like Rolo describes it as becoming the game. Like once you
Mhm.
really understand these things, you just respond naturally and effortlessly. But if you don't really understand it and you haven't really learned to embody that, then you are going to struggle, and it's going to seem very robotic to not just yourself doing it, but others. And I say robotic as in like it's not natural, right? It's kind of got the uncanny valley version of it, and it's being like too logical about it. There's no emotionality about it, and this is where you see a lot of guys get upset about it. It's like, yes, women are emotional, so you have to. That's why Donovan Sharp teaches the womanese. You have to understand the emotional language. That's the womanese, and you have to understand that nature. Guys that get frustrated with that, I don't, in my view, I'm like, you don't understand women at all if you're getting mad about female nature. Yes, they can do these things. But once again, what guys do they do those things to? And what are the reasons why they do them? Once again, getting to the root of the problem. And that's where a lot of guys kind of lose the plot here in the red pill space, is that they keep obsessing over digging for all the problems, not realizing that the solution was inside all along.
Hey there, crazy mama. How you living?
And let's not forget a lot of the guys that are in the RP space, especially when they're new coming to the scene, and I'm guilty of it, is while they're doing their whole proselytizing phase, is that they don't give themselves any grace.
Yeah. No, they don't. And
They're too hard on themselves.
Now we're talking about relationships. And I wasn't really talking about relationships so much.
I'm just saying in general, just a red pill in general.
Yeah, but
Like
when we're
just
talking about relationships, let me tell you like the difference between a guy with DMP handling relationship conflict with what I see the average red pill guy does. All right. And it's like this. See, guy with DMP handles relationships like a CEO handles a business crisis. He clarifies expectations, he corrects behaviors, or he cuts ties with no drama. Just moves on.
Yep.
Says, okay, lets him go.
Doesn't chase and doesn't beg and doesn't emotionally spiral. He understands her emotions, but doesn't get led by them. Right. And it seems like, the RP guys often tries to outgame her instead of leading her. Thinks every disagreement is a power struggle. Uses dread games, silent treatment, or preset scripts, and can't handle emotional mature conversations and defaults to tactics over truth. Do you guys think I'm wrong?
No, there's a lot of guys I've seen that do that. That's one of the things that I've tried to address, and some of the guys I've given advice to. But once again, I try not to tell people what to do. I'm just be like, yeah, I've done a lot of these things as well. Like I said, I don't sit up here as somebody that like, oh, I know all this stuff. No, it's just like I figured a few things out and I learned some options at work.
Yeah.
You know?
This may work for you. This may not. Try it out. If it doesn't, get rid of it. If it does, keep you.
But it seems like there's more to it. There's more like a mental model here. Like if you notice everything that the DMP guy does, mission focused. Overall.
Yeah, eye on the prize. The actions adapt according to the goals, whereas guys are trying to, alter their actions to like a perfect model that'll work every time. But that's the thing. Real life requires improvisation. That's the key thing that I see a lot of guys lacking, is that they don't know how to improvise, and they're so scared of fucking up if they improvise that they don't. But the thing is, you have to push through that. That's how you get good. You have to push past that fear, that hesitation, that doubt. Doesn't matter what variety is you're experiencing. You push through that, and you just practice. What is the old mantra? You have to practice. You always start with the basics. A lot of guys get hung up on the advanced things, like, oh, I'm going to use dread game. It's just like, well, how about you just make yourself more attractive? And then when you go out being social with your girl, occasionally rewarding her for being, complimentary to you, then other women are going to notice. And she's going to notice that they notice, and then you're enacting dread passively without having to do anything. And if the girl like approaches you or compliments you, like happened with me when we went to go get some custard, your girl's going to get very excited about that. Like, oh shit, what'd she say? Oh, she complimented me on my cologne. So
did
once
you get custard all over yourself? Never mind. Don't answer that.
Did you get custard
all over her? Remember, that's what Steelman's mad at me because yeah.
So I have two more points when it comes to problem solving. Right, a guy with a dominant masculine presence solves problem in the service of the greater for the mission or purpose. Doesn't let distractions, especially emotional ones, derail him. And every problem is filtered through, does this align with my mission? Okay. Red Pill Guys makes his mission about women, dating, and female behavior. Lets emotional damage from the past dictate his present focus. And he thinks he's focused, but he's actually obsessively orbiting around what went wrong in the last one. And finally, when it comes to growth and ownership, seems like a guy with dominant masculine presence. He owns his part in every conflict or failure. I don't know how many times I've talked to you guys privately and they're like, yo, I made mistakes. I created an environment for bad behavior to take place. I don't know how many people have heard me say that on my podcasts. I have no problem owning that I have to own that. If I want to move forward and have a better life, I have to take my responsibility. Every man needs to, right?
Yeah. If you don't take responsibility for your actions, you can't learn from your mistakes. That's just how it is. That was the whole conversation with Steelman the other day. Like you have to really analyze what you went wrong, and instead of glorifying your necessity as a virtue, you go like, no, I fucked up. Maybe I could do better if I really accepted that, took that onus upon myself, and chose a new action next time rather than the same one I did.
Oh yeah, like even a couple weeks ago at work, we had our annual reviews, and I got my pee slapped during it.
Wait a minute, they took it out and the little leprechaun thing.
Yeah, they started beating it down. But like everything they called out on there, I'm like, that's my fault. I was being too complacent during this. Yada yada. Yep, I take that. I take ownership on that. I didn't instruct my junior technician on what to do in this case.
Now, did you do that because so they don't automatically make you a supervisor?
No.
Another thing that guy with the DMP does is that he uses each problem to upgrade his character and capability. It's not I have to. It's I get to. I get to conquer this again. I get to prove my value. I get to prove my capability. I get to. That mindset is different than I have to. Right? And then finally, he believes every setback is an opportunity to lead better next time. You made a mistake. Cool. What did you learn? You learned not to make that mistake anymore. Cool. What does that mean? When I lead next time, it's going to be better than it was this time. But when it comes to red pill guys, they blame women, society for the dysfunction. They rarely, have introspective, internalizing all faults. They'll look at themselves. They go, it was her. Yeah. She stopped sucking my dick. Well, what did you do? Oh, you stopped washing your balls with tactical soap. Well, maybe if you wash your balls with tactical soap, she'll suck your dick more. No, but she stopped sucking it. That's the problem. And when it comes to, they grow in theoretical, but they learn everything, but they never evolve. They never rise to the occasion.
Yeah. Something I find very interesting too, because like I said, I've kind of looked around in a lot of the different communities, and I find it like similar, but kind of the inverse in the black pill community, because the black pill community is obsessed about themselves, but with a total lack of action. So it's the same obsession on the individual sex, but without any focus on real improvement. They'll say, looks, money, status. That's the only LMS. That's the only thing that matters. They'll be like, okay, yeah, you got to work out and stuff like that, but is it really worth it for these Western women? These modern women, these third wave feminist women, whatever the cope is, they'll be good looking guys in this community too, right? And they'll be going out and be like, yeah, I still get turned down by women. One of the guys called into the Fresh and Fit podcast one time and talked about how he never got any luck when he went out normally because he's short and his genes, his genetics are flawed. But yet when he went out with these booster shoes on, all the women were paying more attention to him. But the freaking dude, once again, he's like not understanding that, yeah, it's because of your mindset. He had a different presence because of the boost in confidence the shoes fucking gave him. It wasn't the shoes. The shoes just gave him that Emperor's New Clothes mindset where he believed the falsehood and it made him confident. And because he was able to actually confidently fake it, then I guarantee that was the differential. If he had that same mindset without the booster shoes, I bet he would have done much better than he would have normally by going out in his, like he said himself, just like not really feeling or being into it. They'd start looking at him and then he's like looking down and feeling insecure. And once again, it's very interesting how what you're describing, where guys in the red pill are focused on the women, and then you got guys in the black pill focused on the man and the women. And neither one of them want to enact solutions. They're just like, no, that's bullshit. I should have to. They feel entitled to convenience.
Tara, let's call a spade a spade. Most guys in the black pill community are what would clinically be called a covert narcissist.
Yeah, a lot of secret kings.
You trying to piss,
but a lot of them just
off.
Are self-flagellating. That's the thing.
That's part of the covert narcissism.
Are you guys trying to piss off Casper here?
He's just pissed off to begin with.
He's not black.
I
thought he's wild MGTOW.
Don't get Casper angry. Come on,
I didn't say anything about MGTOW. No, and Casper's fine.
Look, he's sending the dots. He's like, da, 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 da. We're gonna end up having to play the angry Casper song, and he's just gonna go buck wild on you guys. Like he's gonna get buck nasty.
No, this is Casper's safe space. He's fine.
Yeah, I'm just saying what I from what I've done right after my last breakup, going into understanding the. They're not the grandiose narcissists like I'm the best, look at me, yeah, like the more sociopathic style. No, it's the woe is me, my feelings, boo-hoo, life sucks, I got dealt a shitty hand.
Well, like I said, there is a percentage of that because I've actually gone, like I said, this is anecdotal. I know, full disclosure, anecdotal. But the people I've talked to, that is about, I'd say, a third. But there's actually a larger portion that just straight up are like giving up. They're just like, well, I'm short, I'm fat, I don't want to do the work. What's the point? So I'm just gonna jerk off the fucking hentai and live my life. Eventually, I'll buy a sex doll when that's a thing. If I can make enough money.
Hey, are you gonna
They
get
don't
me
even want to
one?
hold
You
down
gonna
a
get one of
job.
those
Like
AI
that's some of the
ones?
things that I've been told.
Are you gonna get one of those AI ones that talk back to you?
Are you asking for Skynet? Because that's how you get Skynet, bro.
I'm not. I'm just saying what I've been
I'm just
told by
wondering if you
these
was going
guys. And then
to.
there's some of them, like I said, that understand the quote red pill truths and they believe that, like they've told me that the red pill ripped off the black pill. I'm like, how can you be telling me that red pills rip off a black pill when black pill's a derivative pill named from the red pill? And it's all fucking metaphorical bullshit anyway. So what the fuck?
So like, but at the end of the day, what I'm trying to point out here is there's a difference in approach to these problems in life. You could sit here and spin your wheels and bitch about what you think is causing the problem, or you could rise above it and become the solution. That's simple. Are you going to sit here and complain about women, female nature, or society, or whatever, or are you just going to become the guy that doesn't have to worry about it? You know, like if women come in your life, great. If women don't come in your life, great. Either way, you're still mission focused. You're still going after your goal. You're still pursuing what you set out to pursue. Why are you worried about the women? Women come and go. It's that simple. Like, I just don't understand what good does it do to point out women and go, it's your female nature that's causing all these problems. Like, what good does that do? Have you ever told a dog, stop barking? You just always bark. If you just would stop barking, I would not have all these headaches. And did that ever make the dog stop barking? No. So why not adapt? Why not move forward? Why not go after what you need to go after? Control what you can control. Problem solve the things that you can problem solve, instead of bitching about things that you have no control over.
Exactly. Proper priority list. Like, what can you actually control? That's a first step in problem solving. Like, what are the things I actually can affect? Because there's a difference between a reason and an excuse. That's what I was taught. It's like a reason is something genuinely beyond your control. An excuse is something that you could have controlled, but you chose not to. And now you got to deal with the consequences of your choice. You know, just like before, the list that you said, I like to, not give ultimatums. I give choices. I give everybody a choice with me. It's like you can choose to be honest or dishonest with me, and it just comes down to what I tell my girl. I'm like, well, you comply or goodbye. It's that simple. A lot of guys aren't willing to walk away. Like they'll feel trapped in their own life. And it's just like, you have a choice. And it doesn't mean you have to be a dick about it. It just means you have to understand your own value, self-worth, and be willing to pay the ultimate price to enforce your boundary and self-respect. But a lot of guys aren't willing to do that because they're afraid of the consequences. And so they end up being controlled, and they don't even realize that they're basically tricking themselves into giving up control of their own choices. Damnedest thing.
Yep. And how can you lead when you're bitching about somebody you're following? You can't lead. So, final thoughts on problem solving before we open up the panel, guys.
It is what it is. It's one of the 7 P's. It's your natural imperative as a dude. Like, figure out the shit. If you can't figure out the shit, at least try to find someone that might be able to help you figure out the shit. Like tribes and mentors. We preach about it here. We preach about it in the RP. Get some mentors because you can't do it on your own. If you want the shortcut, this is for all your problems and problem solving. This is the shortcut. Listen to the guys who have been here before. Take their advice. Use what works. Ditch what doesn't.
Viking?
Yeah, I just take in as much information as possible and just get better at prioritizing and filtering it. You know, because my grandfather taught me, like, even a fool can teach you something because they've had an experience that you haven't had. Doesn't mean you're going to do what they say, but they might just have an insight you never thought before. And if you look at things from different angles, you can solve problems better. Because sometimes that's fresh insight of that idiot that just thought about it in a simplistic way might actually be the breakthrough insight you needed to solve a complex issue. And you never thought about that way because you were overthinking it. You know, just as a, you know, simple example. So be willing to talk to people. Like, I get called a know-it-all all the time, but the thing is, the reason why I know so goddamn much is because I never stop educating myself, and I never stop having conversations with other people through the internet or in real life. And we'll talk about all sorts of stuff. I've had conversations like, I'm 40 years old. I've had conversations like this for most of my life. I started talking to people at church when I was 5 years old and wouldn't shut the fuck up after I got over my shyness.
Sex with a porn star. Number one.
Sorry, that was an accident.
Glenn, you need to get that scene from the Chappelle show where they're at the bar and they're getting Samuel L. Jackson. They're like, "Sir, will you stop yelling?" "I'm not yelling. I just talk like this." Every time Tyrell goes on his monologues.
Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Viking Truther for coming in, or the Vengeful Truther coming in with $10 super chat. He goes, "Hit the goal. Tentacles loves degenerates. Tentacle loves degenerates. Loving degenerates."
I'm not into hentai.
the
Who
hentai,
who the hell's into
yeah.
hentai?
What is hentai?
Japanese animated adult video with tentacles going
Is
into orifices.
You say cartoon porn?
Yes, anime.
Basically, yeah.
Oh god.
I see a fun
Sasquatch is hammered. This is to be a good time.
I first learned about hentai from two Canadian girls when I played World of Warcraft.
No,
They sent me a video and forced me to watch it, and I was never the same.
No. I am old. I don't do that shit.
You've heard the stories on
I'm
how
not into it either.
The Briar Wolf comes in with a $10 super chat. He goes, "Say no to tentacles." You're damn right. Say no to it. That shit is nasty. You know what? If you guys are trying to problem solve getting your dick inside her, how about you just listen to some Dick Insider from Tactical Soap?
It's a magical place, face kissed by the sun. Dick Insider flows freely, a conquest to be won. Golden elixir awakens the soul. Oh, feel the magic, the bells will toll. Dick Insider, let it flow deep. Awake your senses, no more sleep. Dick Insider, deep as can be. Exploring realms to be set free. Whispers in the night. Dick Insider takes flight. Electric light surrounds us. In this pure delight, time slows as we taste each drop of bliss. The world fades away around this liquid kiss. Dick Insider, let it flow deep. Awake your senses, no more sleep. Dick Insider, deep as can be. Exploring realms to be set free. Let it flow, let it be. Savor every thrust and drop. In the dark, we feel the dick won't stop. Dick Insider, let it flow deep. Awake your senses, no more sleep. Dick Insider, deep as can be. Exploring realms to be set free. With every tactical soap purchase, get a free crate.
Glenn's celebrity voicemail. Because Glenn's that cool. He paid me to say that. What? It's the truth.
I just want to wish my homeboy, Glenn Lawrence, a very Merry Christmas. He's the best ghostwriter in the game.
I want to wish Glenn Lawrence a very Merry Christmas. I'm still waiting under the mistletoe for you, Glenn. I used to be a feminist until Glenn Lawrence fucked me really good now. I don't even like bitches, I just want more Glenn dick.
I have to say that Glenn Lawrence is after hours is the funniest late night podcast on YouTube.
Here's a real confession. The best sex I've ever had was with Glenn Lawrence.
Like to wish Glenn Lawrence a very Merry Christmas. And Glenn, can you please stop asking me if I will be your AI sex robot? I am your assistant for Amazon. Oh, and tell that one guy blind that we currently have a special on butt plugs if he loses the purple one.